For some, Myanmar's peace process has gone from hope to despair. These soldiers in Karen State have seen renewed fighting in their territory recently between government-backed troops and another rebel army. They believe the government and its military are to blame.
How can you trust them? How can you believe them? They have not. They say something and they do something else. They promise something and they always break the promise. How can you believe in them? So this is something that we have to reconsider, whether we can trust them or not. For me, they are untrustable.
Just weeks ago, rebel organisations and their armies met with the government of Aung San Suu Kyi in the capital Naypyidaw. Some have been fighting for independence or greater autonomy for decades. The government says peace with ethnic minority groups is its top priority. But back in the jungles of Karen State, rebel commanders are angry.
The Burmese army uses us as a tool. They trick Karen soldiers into fighting each other. They want us to kill each other until everyone's dead.
Thousands of people fled the fighting, some spilling across the porous border into Thailand, where they're sheltering in villages. The Myanmar army says the fighting is over and it's offered to help people go back home and rebuild. But many are sceptical.
We don't trust the government. We don't believe what they've told us. There have been many problems on the road back home, and it's difficult to travel on, so we're still afraid to return.
Adding to those fears of the villagers, Karen soldiers say they've seen more government forces moving into the area, and they don't believe the government can control its army.
The Burmese government is lying to the international community. They're lying to the KNU, lying to all the ethnic groups who are struggling for their rights. They're just buying time, they're getting more territories, and one way or another, sooner or later, they're going to attack.
After 50 years of military rule, the ethnic groups say they had high hopes for peace and a better deal under a civilian government. But they say they're yet to see any evidence that long-term peace is any closer. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera.